June 26, 2013.
Oof.
There's at least 3 of us in this room that were at that game.
Boston away.
Yep. First win.
Yeah.
With Seattle Reign, just in terms of having access to these memories and this journey with this team, obviously having 3 core players who were present for that game, Jess Fishlock scoring the winning goal. How special has this journey been, especially with the 3 of them?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I think I've said a lot, this is a really special club. It always has been. I think those challenging times is arguably what really made the club what it is. When I left in 2017, it was hard to put into words what this club meant to me. And coming back, it's like I didn't skip a beat, honestly. And I think the 3 of them have been a big reason for that. Just the culture that they've created, the legacy that they will continue to live on between the 3 of them, I think is very, very unique. And yeah, just really proud that we've worked very, very hard to get back here. And in 2014 and 15, I don't think we really appreciated the gravity of how difficult it was to do that. So being back here this time, we've really tried to take it in.
Right here, yep.
Evan Davis, Equalizer Soccer. Bethany Balser's been moved into a substitute role over the last few games. Just wondering if you might be able to talk about the thinking behind that between you and your staff.
Yeah, I think just for other people, I think like Latsko's obviously stepped up. I think Jordan's been doing great lately. And I think Boat, you know what you're going to get with Boat, she's a goal scorer. And I think we often ask our forwards to do a lot of heavy duty work off the ball. And we know that if we can get Boats in goal scoring positions late in games, that she can win games for us. And I think when she came on against Angel City, I think she was great. I think she did really, really well. And we needed a goal in that game. And I think she helped create that. Obviously, she didn't score it, but her movement in the box took defenders away for Latsko to get the opportunity. And then in the San Diego game, she came on for Jordan to see the game out. So she knows this is a difficult team to get in the starting lineup. Like, it's a challenge. We have a lot of competition. She's taken it on really well as a pro. And when she's come on onto the field, she's really impacted. And obviously we hope that whatever her role is tomorrow, she can do the same thing.
Where are we going? We'll go here first and then up front.
Hello, Alejandro from San Diego Punto Futbol. It's been a while since you guys have faced Gotham back in May, but what do you feel has changed since then, and how are you approaching this game differently?
Yeah, I think both teams, honestly, are pretty different to who we were then. I think for us, I've said this a lot, I don't think we've really had that momentum shifting moment throughout the season. I think the Gotham game at home was a wake-up call for us, honestly, where we say it all the time, but we often don't get punished if you don't turn up in this league and you don't put on performances that, you know, a 7 to 8 out of 10, you've got no chance of getting a result. And I think that was one of those days, and we got punished for it in the first half. But I think since then, even though we may not have won every game, we've actually given ourselves a chance to win games. And obviously, at the back end of the season, when it's the most important, we've got a little bit of momentum. We've showed a lot of grit and determination. We haven't played the most beautiful football the whole time, but we've been effective in the areas that we need to be. And I think they've done the same thing. Like, you know, I think even in their last regular season game, like, they were close to conceding a goal which would have knocked them out of it. So I think that you just have to show grit and determination in big moments, and that's what it means when you're in the playoffs in these one-off games. You've got to be able to show that, and I think we've been doing that of late.
And just want to follow up real quick, sorry. What does it say about the level of competition in the league where the 4th and the 6th seed are in the championship this year?
Yeah, I think it's massive. I think we talk about the parity in the league all the time. And, you know, I think the fact that Gotham obviously were bottom of the league last year and were struggling, and then to turn it around and have the season that they have and be in this game says everything about the league. I think for us, just on a points perspective, we didn't achieve what we did last year, but we were, I don't know what it was, 7, 8 points off. What was it, Ryan? Yeah, come on, Ryan. We dropped off a couple of points, but to win the Shield, and I think you just got to look around. The parity is so tight, and that'll be no different moving forward because there's a lot of players in this country at a high level. I think the league and the investment within the league and the clubs is getting better all the time. And, you know, even we know sitting here today to have a chance of getting back here in a year's time, we have to go out next year and recruit and get better and continue to progress and develop the players that we have.
We'll come up here, pass up front first, yep.
Hey Coach, Cameron Nia with the Sporting Tribune. Your team hasn't allowed a goal in 4 games, and a lot of the playoff matches across the league, we've seen 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. What do you think's contributing to that kind of low scoring games? Do you think it's more the playoff environment, maybe tactics? What do you think's leading to that? And then obviously your defensive success as well.
I mean, I think in the playoffs, it's you give everything, right? Like, and I think the parity in the league, like we just spoke about, means that the games are going to be tight. I think for us specifically, we sort of pride ourselves on that. We pride ourselves on being hard to break down and hard to beat. And our players, you know, buy into that and dig into that a lot in games. So I just think, yeah, is it tactical? Potentially, but I just think the mentality of our group specifically is that they work really hard to make that a priority, because then you only need one moment of brilliance in any game to win it. When you open the game up a little bit, it can be challenging because then you've got to have multiple opportunities to score goals. But if you have the mentality where that you're hard to beat and you restrict the opponent to opportunities, then you maybe only need that one moment of brilliance.
Definitely, and then to just kind of follow up on that, Emily Sonnet's been, you know, a really big piece this season, especially down the stretch for you guys as a number 6. Can you talk about her importance to the team and just what she really helps you guys do?
Yeah, I think obviously it's been a new position this season for Sonnet, one that she's embraced fully and got the rewards for, both at club level and internationally with the national team. I think she reads the game well. I think she has a level of physicality where she can compete with people. I think she's very good at controlling tempo on the ball. And I think the modern day 6 is that. I think they can compete, they can get across the ground quickly, and on the ball they know how to play simply, but to be able to control tempo, and I think she does a great job of that.
We'll go right here and then to Steph.
Abraham Zabella with the East Village Times. You spoke about the field conditions yesterday. Could you tell me what was it like out there today and what do you expect for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a field that's played on a lot, which is challenging. Didn't seem to have as many football lines on it this time, which was great. And yeah, I just think, you know, when you're in Southern California, that fields are going to be pretty hard and solid because of the weather. But we're just happy to be here and we'll play on whatever it takes.
Steph?
Hi, Laura. You know, Lauren and Megan were just up here asked, like, why they kind of haven't gotten over the championship hump yet, and Megan said shit's hard. A, would you agree shit's hard? And B, as Meg brought up, as someone who's been here since 2013 and has, you know, seen a lot of different environments, been through a lot of situations, seen the whole evolution, you know, has shit been hard in uniquely different ways over the years, or you just rattled off a lot of factors about like parity and development and stuff? Like, do you anticipate that shit will be hard in a different way in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it is, you know, I think there's no doubt it's hard. There's no question, or we would be here every year. But I think that for us, the consistency of our performances are what we've always strived for. But the reality is in this league and the structure of the league, that gets you one thing. It doesn't get you the ultimate thing. And we haven't had that this year. We haven't had the consistency of performance, or we would have won the Shield. In years gone by, when we've got to this point, we've always lent on the consistency of performance, on how we need to make sure that we do the right thing in the final. And I think this time we have to lean on something different, because that's not been who we've been. We've been on this gritty team that's dug in and dragged ourselves through the mud. And And, we've spoke about it a lot. We've had a lot of stuff going on this year internally that we've had to deal with. We've had ups and downs throughout the season on and off the field. And honestly, to be here at this moment, I feel it's quite ironic because in the seasons gone by, when we've made it to this point, it's been pretty smooth sailing. We haven't had the most amazing facilities or whatever, but from an on-the-field perspective, we ran away with the league both years and then got to the final game and just couldn't get over the hump. This year, we've had to grind our way through it. So I think that's set us up for it definitely to be a bit of a different mindset leading in tomorrow.
We'll go to our junior reporter.
How do you get the team in a winning mindset prior to the championship match?
I think it helps that you have to win games to get here. I think the fact that you have to win a quarterfinal and a semi-final to even get a chance to be in the final helps you to create that mentality. And I think for us, we know what it takes to win games at this level. So yeah, I think that really helps. I think the fact that to get into a final, you have to have won games previously. I think it's a really good place to get that mindset going.
How does it feel going into the final, and how is the team prepared for the championship match?
I think we're very prepared. I think the last couple of days the players have really switched on after having a couple of days of rest and recovery after the semi-final. And we always, our sort of saying is we always try and make sure that on match day -1 in our last meeting that we'll have this evening, that everyone leaves the room knowing exactly what it's going to take to win the game. And if we do that, then we give ourselves a best chance of winning.
Thank you. We'll get to a few more here. Let's go to Zoom real quick. Jonathan Tannenwald.
Thanks, Kirsten. Hi, Laura. Jonathan Tannenwald of the Philadelphia Inquirer. You were asked a minute ago about scouting Gotham and how they've changed, and I wanted to see if you'd expand on that, and in particular, Juan Carlos Amoros' influence on that team and maybe even on this league as a whole, because he's done some things that not a lot of coaches in this league have done over the years. Thanks.
Yeah, I think that they've just become more refined in what they try and do. I think publicly they've said a lot about the game that we played against them in May, where it was a turning point for them when they came to Seattle. And I just think that they move the ball quickly, they press you high, they try and make it as difficult as possible for you in those moments. And they're like a team. I think they're a real team that, their parts all come together, and that's what enables them to have good performances. So I think, they value having the ball, but I think they also value going and winning it back quickly, which I feel exactly the same about. So I think that those are two areas of the game that you can really see in the way that they play, that they value having it, and when they don't have it, they want to get it back off you as quickly as possible, which I think in this league can always be effective.
Thanks. We'll go John Lupo.
Excuse me, Laura. To that end, Gotham have, in my opinion, one of the most talented forward lines in NWSL with Lynn Williams, Midge Purse, and with Esther Gonzalez. So you've been so good defensively. How do you go about maintaining such a potent forward trio like that?
Yeah, I think our mindset's always prevention is better than cure. I think the more we can limit their opportunities near our goal, the better it is for us. I think we've done a really good job of that of late. Obviously, we've played against some good forward lines with Sydney Leroux and etc. against Angel City, and Alex Morgan and her crew for San Diego. And I think that was a key to our success, was limiting the amount of opportunities they got in and around our goal. And tomorrow we hope that will be the same.
Thanks. We'll go Jada and Dan, and then we'll wrap it up.
Jade Evans with the Seattle Times. Laura, I just wanted to get your opinion of the trophy and what it's like to see it. It's in front of you. I don't know.
Sweet. It's nice.
That's it.
I don't tend to get involved with them until I win it. So when I win it, I'll definitely think about it a little bit more.
Dan? Jada, can you just slide? Oh.
Laura, is there something about Megan Rapinoe, a story, either good or bad, from over the years that you have never shared that is acceptable to be shared today?
Slim.
Don't think I can share many. Look, she's amazing. I think one of the things, I don't know if it gets overlooked, but I think maybe now's the time to talk about it a little bit, is for someone to commit 11 seasons of their career with the career that she's had to this club that started with nothing, I think says a lot about who she is, says a lot about who we are as a club. And it's interesting that Meg brought up about that Boston game. I think Pino turned up on the 22nd of June, and she was our all-saviour then. And if you think throughout the years, that's been a consistent pattern, that she has stepped up in the biggest moments for this club. I think back to the 2014 and 15 playoff games, she scored goals in moments we needed her to score goals. Chicago this year scores goals when we need her to score goals. Last year, for us to win the Shield, she carried the team on her back. And it is poetic that she gets to try and do that in the biggest game on the biggest platform in this league tomorrow. And we hope we can send her off in the right way. But I hope that there's a better story that probably can never be told that happens tomorrow night. That would be great. After the game.
Well, we appreciate you. Thanks for taking
Thanks,
the time.
people.
And we will see you tomorrow.
Later.
Bye.